Yeah, I am, Steph. Alright, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Here's your homework, draw paw. Draw paw, is it okay if I look at this on stream? Are you brave?
Dawpaw.
How many
Exactly.
bathroom
None,
passes?
none in Thelis. You have to hold it.
Yeah, you gotta hold it, buddy. You're here for the next, like, 2 hours. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So, what do we do? Alright, so last week, what did we talk about? We talked about, kind of what an algorithm is, just a little bit. We talked about, um, we
You
talked...
can actually just show off Dropper's homework.
I will. I'll get to that, hold on. Okay,
It'll be good introduction for what we did.
I know. Well, I'm kind of reviewing what we did. So, okay, so we talked about like what an algorithm is. We talked about this kind of interface, this REPL, which if you haven't gone to it, do bang REPL in the chat. You'll get the link to it. There you go. We talked about what an algorithm is. We wrote Hello World, which is kind of the classic first program that you write. We did a little bit of math, which reminds me of the few things I want to cover there that I should talk about. So we covered math, we covered variables, so storing things in boxes by name, and we talked about printing those boxes, and we talked about reading input from the user using raw input. And I left you all with a challenge to write a program that reads in a temperature in Fahrenheit from the user, converts it to Celsius, and prints it out. So who sent me this? This was Dawpaw just sent me their code, so this is what Dawpaw's solution to that looks like, so let's take a look. So temp is float, raw input, give me your temperature. Well, let's run it first and then let's see. So let's see, give me your temperature in Fahrenheit, let's see, 10. Alright, cool, let's run it again. So negative 40 is itself. So cool. Alright, so how does this work? So Dawpaw takes the input, so remember raw input gets a line of input from the user. It comes out as a string, which is, the letters. He uses float, or she, actually Dawpaw, I don't know if you are he or she or somewhere else. So he uses float to make it into a number. And then that number is stored in this thing called temp. So the formula for conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius is subtract 32 and then multiply it by 5 nines. So Dawpaw actually did something that a lot of people miss, where you want to do this 5.0 divided by 0.9 because yeah, so exactly, Nathanielus. So 5.0 divided by 0.9, or sorry, 5.0 divided by 9. A lot of people just did this, where it was 5 divided by 9. So remember, this is integer division, right? So 5 divided by 9 is 0. Although I think internally Python may do this well. Let's see. Times minus 40 minus 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that actually does. So a lot of people did miss that, but that's okay. It's kind of a minor thing. Let's see. And then anything else?
Can you just like type while chewing down on that chip, Chin?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No, we can't. Just continue.
I'm sorry.
That's alright. You're only messing up. You're only messing up class. The only thing I would say that this could be done a little bit cleaner is like temp is not a great name for a variable. So like if this was FAHR for Fahrenheit, I think that would be slightly cleaner to use. But I mean, obviously it's a small program, so it's okay. But other than that, this is basically what I would call a canonical solution. So well done. We had a really interesting one from Steph, who went a little overboard with printing and all sorts of things like what is your name? Would you like to convert some temperatures? All right.
Yeah.
So.
Class,
So there you go. So Steph went a little overboard with printing, but I like it. A lot of people had really fun things that were really interesting. What does Kledos do?
Yeah. Well, mine. Well, I fixed up hers a little bit, but also I did. Mine is pretty simple.
Yeah. So Kledos did a very
extra,
similar thing as
The
well.
little extra thing I did is I turned that number, the temperature number, into a string, so I can put the degree symbol right after it.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes Steph use F instead of L.
All right. Cool. So yeah, we can leave all these. So yeah, that was kind of.
It, so it's not some crazy long thing.
So that was. So yeah. So I had a lot of good solutions. I think I emailed most people, or like responded to most people with little comments. If I didn't, let me know, and if you want feedback, I will get on that. So does anyone have? Yeah. What's up, Nathaniel? Quick question about Kledos' code. Yeah, I guess I'll give an opportunity for questions, then we'll kind of get started. When he puts int, does that change anything?
It
So
just
that
prevents people from entering a decimal.
yeah, so what would happen is like if I did like 10.34, it will crash out. It'll complain.
I don't want people to enter.
What if the temperature is 10.5 degrees though?
Fine, I guess.
Oops, that's a slash. Yeah, so
I guess
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
the int does the conversion up front. So remember, the int does the casting or
I mean,
the conversion.
Who's gonna enter like a decimal for temperature?
I just did.
Maybe Wodar, maybe, and you just to test
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's basically
But,
how I
you
tested.
know,
I basically tested people's things by typing in -40, and then like 0 because I knew that, and then 32. So that's how I did.
Did you not also type in a word and see it crash?
No, that's okay. All right, so let's move on to some new stuff.
I mean, I could have put in like conditions, like if you enter a word, I'll just call you stupid or something. But
Yeah, you can do that, but it's okay. That wasn't really.
whatever that.
Wouldn't the TC calculation be integer and not
No,
decimal
it
math?
turns into a decimal. Once it's
Yeah.
calculated.
Yeah, so this dot back here forces it into a float. So that's basically the same thing as doing 32.0. It's just a little shortcut in Python. Okay, so let's move on. I could talk about these all day, but we want to learn something new. Yeah? Yeah. All right,
New thing.
so let's see. What's on my list of things to talk about today? All right, so let's talk about lists. Lists is number one. So let's talk about these boxes. So I actually set this up right this time. Hold on a second. If I can do that. Does this work? Now you all get to see my just god-awful handwriting. Awesome. All right. So we talked, and this is way faster than using draw.io because I can draw. Whoops, that's oh, come on. There we go. All right. So we talked last time about you have a box and it has the name A and maybe it has a 3 in it, right? And then maybe we have the box B and it's got the string hi in it. See, this is my
handwriting.
yeah, this is my bad
That looks like a
handwriting.
line.
All right, so there's more you can put in these boxes. So I'm gonna erase these.
So
Oh,
many boxes.
I know.
Boxes and boxes.
So I'm gonna talk about lists. So a list is exactly what it sounds like. We can have a box. And
What does it sound like?
we can call it A. And then we can put a list of, say, numbers, right? You can have the number 3, followed by the number 2, followed by the number 1, followed by the number 4, followed by the number 3 again, for example. And then you're able to access these, in order. So they're all, whoops, they're all, erase this.
The way it was described to me, which visually I thought was really neat, was like a 7-day pillbox of any size that you want. So you can put
Yeah,
things
that's
in
fair.
each little section. But it in and of itself is one thing.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So each one of these, so this is something that has one name but many little boxes inside of it. So, for example, this is inside the first little box, second little box, third little box, fourth little box, fifth little box. So I can draw all day, but we'll start off with an example. And if you have any questions, of course, as always, let me know in the chat. So if you want to follow along, again, pound REPL, REPL in the chat. Good night, Noche. And we can follow along. So we're going to be using the right-hand side of this real quick. Is it like a 2D array? It's actually like a 1D array, master switch. So in this little drawing I did, I have A is the box, or is the list 3, 2, 1, 4, 3. So the way we do that in Python is use little open square brackets, so 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, and just like that. And then you hit enter, and that will create the list 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, and store it in A. So if I type in A, you'll get that list back out. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yep.
Yes?
Hi, Steph.
That makes sense? Good. The way you can get at individual things in the list is by using that square bracket and the element number. So the first thing is element 0, element 1, 2, 3, 4. So A0 is the 3, A2 is the 1, so it's A1. Whoops. Wodar, I will...
Hey, that's a legitimate question.
It is a legitimate
People
question.
who don't know computer science.
Why doesn't your bracket work? are you using square brackets? Like again, make sure you do it exactly like I am. Square bracket, and then a couple numbers separated by commas, and then the close bracket. Alt 9. Oh man, I don't have a. What kind of keyboard are you on?
Oh, I assume he means shift.
Shift.
Actually, it might be Alt 9 on.
Shift 9 is the normal. That's the normal.
Yeah, you don't want to use
Parentheses.
parentheses. You don't want to use the curly brace. You want.
The brackets.
Yeah, you have to use the square bracket.
To the right of P.
Oop.
Good to be square.
Hit to be square. Alright, so does this make sense to everyone? That is very strange. So type what you have on the left-hand side, and then click share, and send me the link, and we'll take a look.
Well, I mean, this feels like it's more of a problem with the interface.
His shortcut.
Yeah. French
Yeah.
keyboard.
French keyboard.
So, okay. So, let's do a little quiz then, shall we? So if I make this list...
Very nice, Whammer.
Whoops. So I have that list. What will this print? Whoop. That got too big. Also, let me know if the font size is too small.
It's 11 people.
Yep.
11
So this
or minus 10.
So this will
Yeah.
print 11, because remember the first thing is element 0. So B0 is 19, B1 is 38, B2 would be negative 10. And then, so, yeah, it's just, there's historical reasons for it, just deal with it later. We can talk about it after, at the end of this. I don't want to get bogged down and kind of rambling on about that. So let's do one more example here. So if I do C equals, let's see.
Whammer wants to know what B5 would have been, and
Oh.
Jeremy wants to know what B minus 1 would have been.
Alright, that's good. We will talk about that in a second. So let's see, if I do C2, what will that print? Or what is that? Oh, I forgot the word looking. Whoops. Oh well.
Hello, is it me you're for?
Here for. Well, it's okay.
What is this? Who's on first?
Yeah.
It does look like who's on. We got it or is.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
so
right.
Your apostrophe?
so the answer is it. Because remember, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So somebody asked, what would happen if you did something that you went off the end of the list? You just
no.
crash. You'll get this thing called index error, and it says list index out of range, which is basically saying I don't know what the hell to do with
Or just
this
say,
number.
"You fool!"
It's just I don't know what to do. Now somebody asked about negative numbers. This is really interesting. If I do C -1, what do you think that will do? Actually, go ahead and try it. Tell me what it does. I know what it does, but you should tell me what it does. Go ahead and try it.
Interaction. Why do you want to do it like this?
Because it's really useful.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I mean, like it makes things convoluted. In
No, it
some
doesn't.
aspects.
Learn
What are-
I doing?
What I'm gonna mute you for your bad opinions.
I mean, like it should just crash.
No.
I feel like it's the correct.
All right. So is anyone?
So it looks like it wraps around backwards or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt
So
Gaming guess that it comes up with another error.
yeah, Matt Gaming. Negative indices will actually go backwards. So -1 means the last element of the list.
Yeah.
So -2 is the second to last element of the list. -3 and so on and so on and so on.
0 and also -6.
What about -0?
Don't do,
we
never
won't-
write -0.
-0 is a thing.
Negative zero is fine.
Yeah, -0 is a thing. -0 is an interesting concept, but
Oh,
we'll
it's
talk
just
about that
a
later.
number.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
It doesn't care.
So, what? Python is cancer?
Python is
Why?
cancer.
All right. So here's a quiz for you all. So if I say face is
Python.
Python.
I guess this is a great way for if you don't know the size of the list, to just get the last entry.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't like it, but
All
I
right.
guess that's fine.
So the element can't. What are the two indexes you can use to get to this? So what are the two numbers x and y that will make this display can't?
Chat says
Magician,
1 and minus 4.
Whammer, and Steph, and Retronox, and Master Switch, and Captain Hindsight all say 1.
All right, I
negative
think we have consensus here. So yes, face 1, of course, prints can't, and face negative 4 also prints can't. So well done. Okay, so any questions? One last thing before I want to go on is lists can mix type. So, whoops. Let's see. What do I want to say? U equals hello 3 4.1 goodbye. So lists can mix elements. So foo 0 is hello, and foo -1 is goodbye. Foo.
What he means by elements is you can have strings,
Oh.
you can have numbers, you can
Aphex,
decimals.
I will get to slicing in a little bit. God damn it, I'm really good at picking floating point error numbers. God, I'm really good at that. Aphex tier, I will talk about slicing, but not just right now. Whammer, can a list contain a list? Absolutely. So, let's see. Nested list equals... Absolutely, lists can take other lists. So, and then the way you would access that is like nested list 0 2. What do you think that will print, Whammer? What should this print? Nathanielus, why I got that is a long explanation that we will get to at some point.
Chat says C.
Chat says C. Let's see if chat is right. Chat is indeed correct. So that is what you get. Okay, any other questions about lists before we move on?
You should explain why you get C.
Oh, why you get C, thank you. So the way so remember, this is a list within a list. So this nested list 0, right? That gets you this part. And then you need the 2, which gets you this one, right? So if I did nested list 0, you get this list, right? So you have to add another, what this is called, this number is called the index, this one right here. Will get you, our lists consider variables. You can store, because we're not talking about dictionaries yet, J-Chosen. We will talk about dictionaries one day, but that day is not today. That's why you need a second index, because Python's like, okay, here's the list, but if you want an individual thing from that list, you have to do it. So yes, Nathaniel, so you can store variables in lists. So that question, are lists considered variables, is kind of a weird one. Like that doesn't totally make sense. Can a list contain a tuple? Yes. We're not going to talk about tuples or dictionaries though today. We're just talking about lists because we're going to need them later. Yeah, exactly. Pointers are a forbidden word. Yeah, we won't talk about pointers yet. Pointers are great. Pointers are like the first mindfuck you get when you're learning about programming.
Is it?
All right, I think so. Any other questions about lists before I move on? I will give. I'm gonna eat an Oreo or two, and then we'll, to let Twitch chat catch up, or Twitch delay, or whatever you want catch up.
Oreo clock.
Wolf Darrigan, that is very.
God, your chat wants to get banned
No.
so badly.
All right. So I'm gonna guess there's no more questions. So all right, we're gonna talk about one more thing, and then we're gonna get into some cool shit. I promise. You gotta eat your cookie. How can you eat your cookies if you don't eat your meat? So.
What?
Someone asked how many lists can you have inside another list?
I don't know if there's a hard limit on that. Is Python pass as a reference? Yes.
Many.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I implicitly make
Yep.
a list of lists?
You can. So there you go. I have.
I know that there's some languages that don't want you to do that, but does Python let you?
What? Sorry, what was the question?
Have an implicit size for the list?
No.
No?
No, it's not like a fixed size array. Like if you're coming from Java or like C or something like that, or C++,
Yeah.
you're probably used to like arrays that are basically lists, but they have a fixed size. Where when you declare the array, you have to say like this is going to be a list of like 5 things, right? And you can never grow it or you can never shrink it. These are growable and shrinkable lists. Can you put Python code in a string and execute it? Oh man, we're not going to talk about that. We're not gonna. Don't do that. Don't do that. There are languages that let you do it, but don't do it. All right. So let's go on to one more thing. So last week we talked about math, right? We talked about math. We can do math. Computers can do math. This is surprises like
the whole of math.
Nobody, right? Yeah. Don't use eval. Okay. So we talked about math, right? Another thing we can do is we can compare numbers, right? We can compare things. So if we type in 10 greater than 20, it will tell us...
Apples to oranges?
Motor, I'm going to mute you. So you can compare numbers. So like 10 is greater than 20, of course that's false. 20 is less than 10, that is also false. 20 is less than 40, that is true. So you can go ahead and try these real quick. So you have less than, you have greater than, you have greater than or equal to, and you have less than or equal to. We'll talk about equals in just a second. So let's see. So 10 less than 14 is of course true. 10 less than or equal to 14, true. 10 greater than 14, false. 10 greater than or equal to 14 is also false. Yep.
Whoa.
Sorry, I can't do that. Well, someone do my headset.
Hi, Cletus.
Hi, Cletus.
I do the right one. They don't do it wrong.
Alright, so... Oh god, somebody's echoing. Alright. Alright, we're muting Cletus because he is too loud. Alright. So when you want to check equality, some of you might have tried 20 equals 20. You probably got this error, right? That's no good. If you want to check equality, you have to use 2 equal signs like that. It's just weird. Just something you have to remember. Single equals is for assignment. Double equals is for comparing equality.
Triple equals?
Does Python have triple equals?
I think it does. Doesn't it have triple equals for like definite? God, I'm going to have to look this up. Continue on.
Yeah. Alright, so if you want to do does not equals, that's a bang equals. So like 20 does not equal 20, of course, is false. 20 does not equal 11 is, of course, true. Is there type checking in Python? Python is weakly typed, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, it's... Yeah, so... No, sorry, weakly typed means, yeah, it's dynamically typed. It's fine. Don't worry about typing systems if you don't understand what we're yammering on about. So, okay. So, let's see. Let's do... Oh, clear. I'm not in a real thing. Okay. Let's do a little quiz. So, 20 greater than 20. What will this print?
Oh, that's a false.
Wait for the chat.
Oh. I assume because you said it out loud that you wanted
Oh, no.
us to say something.
False, 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 false.
Alright, so everyone's basically got it. Alright, let's do this. A equals 15. What will this print?
Okay, yeah. I guess.
Thank you, Chosen.
Yeah. Doesn't Python have type? Spoilers. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
False, 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 false.
Everyone says false. And that is indeed true. Oh, I mean,
Is it
correct.
is
We'll say
false or
correct. Yeah, I shouldn't use the word true. That is okay. Let's see. Can I stump you all? All right, we're gonna clear this. So
Can I
Do
compare
your worst.
strings, Hummus?
all right, what will this do?
You got a true and a false and a true and an error and a false
It's gonna give you an error.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
error or false.
It's not going to like you trying to compare.
I don't think it'll. Will it even be false?
It'll just be false.
Oh,
Will
it is?
Null is greater than null,
What? Null is
right? Would
Why does Python use capital T for true and capital F for false? I don't know. It just does.
Because they're just proper that
Wait,
way.
doesn't type convert, does it?
No. It's some weird. Don't actually do this. It's a.
This
So
is
this is a
so
trick question. Comparing
bugs.
comparing numbers and strings is bad. Don't do it because you will get
Does that mean
weird
hello
stuff.
is greater than 15?
It means it's less than 15.
I don't know. That was a bad example. I probably shouldn't. Hold on. So somebody asked if you can compare strings, and yes, you can. The way it considers strings is alphabetical order. Is it comparing based on the ASCII code page? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's an implementation detail. If someone wants to look that up, that is probably a
pretty
good
sure
idea.
I'm pretty sure this is implementation.
I think,
if
or it
it's
might
ASCII
just
code,
be.
We should be able to get a true then if we fiddle around enough then.
Maybe. All right. So, what was I going to say? Yeah. So A is going to be less than B because A comes before B alphabetically, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it looks like it's transforming it into ASCII.
What is the print in Python? It's just print. All right. So does comparing strings make sense? Like comparing strings to strings? Don't compare strings to int. That makes no sense.
Well, it makes sense for the computer.
Yeah, well. So let's see. Quiz time. What does this say?
C is the king of letters. Is it just
you got some
compare the-
trues and some falses and some trues.
This is
I
a
assume if it
Python,
goes
Jim.
alphabetically, then it's just gonna go by the first letter.
So this
Mostly
is-
trues.
Yeah, it'll be true, right?
Yeah, so this will be true because goodbye appears before hello, so it's considered to be less, right? So like if you were numbered, think of it like this, right? If A is 1 and B is 2 and C is 3 and D is 4 and on, right? Those are the kind of the numbers it uses. It's not strictly true, but it's okay to think about it like that for now. So this is true because hello is a greater value than goodbye, right? Because goodbye appears earlier in the alphabet.
You say hello.
All right, so let's see. What does this do? Yeah, I know. Sets versus dictionaries.
Wait, what is this?
Oh, I need more coffee.
It's just gonna say
False, 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 error,
Yeah.
false,
No, it'll
false.
just say false because
Yeah, this
It
was
was just
this was
false.
false because true and false are not equal.
yeah, they're not equal.
What if the H in hello is capital and the G isn't? I don't know. Miko, you should go try it and report back to us. Okay, so now we're going to talk about so is everyone, more or less clear on how this is working, right? Can we use a different language? I don't know. We're using Python for now. Let's see.
Doing type comparison?
So Mike, yes. So Miko, it did say false. And that is because lowercase is, or let's see. Yep. So lowercase. Oh wow. Actually, hold on.
Ah, okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right, Fu Manchu. I don't remember ASCII anymore. Okay. Nope. Fu Manchu is correct. Okay. Let's move on. So everyone is cool on Boolean or like this kind of true-false stuff in comparisons.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Bob. I know that makes a lot more sense now.
All right. Cool. So let's talk about connectives. So, I need to break out my pen again. Oh, my boss just IM'd me. How's it going? Okay. So, I'm just going to use... Oh, wait, I have to move this window in front. Okay, so any questions on that before we go ahead? Isn't comparing the character code or what? I don't know, Jay Chosen. I'm not going to get into that just yet because I want to talk about ands and ors and stuff. So, Boolean, basically, Boolean, there's two things, right? It can be true or it can be false. No problem. Oh, God, Epidec? Jesus, don't talk about that. So, true and false by themselves are really cool, right? Like, that's fine. You can do a lot of neat stuff with it. You can also combine them. So we can say true and true, true and false, things like that. So, true and false doesn't make a lot of sense, but you can say like A is greater than B and, X is less than Y, right? So you can kind of compare those. So let's see. If we do A equals, 10, B equals 20, C equals 30, and D equals 40. And we do A is greater than B. What is that?
Goddamn, Python's stupid.
What?
I'm talking to Bob, and we were talking about how it deals
False,
with
false,
you compare.
false.
Right.
False, 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 false.
Okay, so of course that should mean this is true, right? What? Wait, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
we were just
Hold
talking
on.
about the
Wait, why are people saying-
and stuff.
Yeah. What a... Oh,
I don't know.
I
Did it back.
right, I know it. No, because
Yeah,
it's because I switched. I was like, wait, it's because I switched the ordering and I switched the sign, so I basically
You
canceled
did the
each
same
other.
thing twice.
Yeah, I did the same thing twice. Okay, so that should be true, of course, because A is less than B. All right, I know what I'm doing. It's been a long day.
Math is hard.
Cool. So A less than B is true. So then, what is C greater than D? What is this?
False, 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 false.
Okay, so yeah, everyone's right. This is false. So now, let's combine the two using AND. So AND takes two Booleans, and AND is true when both of them are true. Okay? So if I say A is less than B, and C is greater than D, what does that give me?
What's that? Hector.
So what does this give me?
False says Richarnox. False says Apex Tier. False says Steph and Mr. Swats.
Yep, so this is indeed
And
correct.
Kilroy.
So this part we know is true, right? A is less than B, we know is true. This part is false, right? We know that. So think about this in your head. True and false is false. Because remember, true is only true if both the left side and the right side are true. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So So let's see, if I did A less than B and C is less than D, what is that? I really should not be drinking this much coffee this late at night, but that's okay, it's too late now.
Just means you have to stay up late and code.
It just means I'll have to make up another stupid programming language. Hey, what's up, Billy?
True, 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 true. Says Ninthelis, Dowpaw, Steph.
Yep, so this
For
is
those who wanna be.
this
Not
is
false, says Miko Duckins.
this is indeed true. Okay, so let's talk about another logical connective. So A equals 10, B equals 20, C equals 30, D equals 40. So or is very similar to and. It takes two Boolean true, or it takes two true or falses, and it is true if at least one of them is true. Okay, so true or false is true, false or true is true, and of course both trues are true, but false or false is false. So let's talk about this. So A is greater than B, or C is less than D. What is that? Oh, excuse me. Oh god, Whammer. No. Like, the reason I did it this way is because brainfuck is such an easy language to parse. I love it. Alright, so I see a couple trues come in. I see a third true, 4, 5, fifth true, 6 true. Alright, so that is indeed true. So A greater than B we know is false because 10 is not greater than 20. C is less than D we know is true because 30 is less than 40. So this is true, or sorry, this is false or true, and that is true. So now what if I did A is greater than B or C is greater than D? What is this? What's up, Hefe? Hefe, I just IM'd you. Right, exactly. Okay, so I see a bunch of falses coming in. So there you go, false. So A is greater than B, of course, is false, because 10 is not greater than 20. C is greater than D, of course, is false, because, 30 is not bigger than 40. So, yeah, this whole expression is false. Is there any questions on this?
So an or will be true as long as there's at least... Right?
Sorry. I zoned out there for a second. Yeah, so or is true if at least one is true, and requires both of them to be true. So we kind of illustrate this. Let's see, let's erase some stuff here. Who cares about all this junk? So we illustrate this. Can you, no, Mr. Swats, I do not believe that works in Python. Okay, so let me switch back to this real quick. Okay, so the way we kind of draw this is we'll draw it in what's called a truth table. So we'll call it A, B, and then A or B. Draw some lines. So A or B, right, takes two logical connectives, or takes two Boolean values, and a Boolean value can either be true or false. That means there are four possible combinations of A and B, right? Both false, FF, FT, TF, and TT. So now going down, what would the right-hand side, what would I write on the column? So the right-hand side, so false or false is false. What are the other three?
They're all true.
Spoilers, Cletos.
I waited.
Alright, so
true, true.
I see a lot of false, true, true, trues, and that is indeed correct. I probably should use Excel, but I have an iPad and a pen, and I'm enjoying drawing, so, that's what I do.
Like a chalkboard.
It's like a chalkboard, but not,
Or a
but I can,
whiteboard.
yeah. So let's see if I erase all this. Let's do this. So now if I write A and, sorry for the bad handwriting, if I write A and B, what does the right-hand side of this look like now?
I guess it's just the opposite.
Fit.
Pretty much.
Fit.
Yep. Yep. So I see a bunch of false, 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 true, because I can't point at the screen. Is there like a little pointer here? Oh, there's not. All right, that's fine. I'll just use like another line. So on this line, false and false is of course false. False and true is false. True and false is false, and true and true is true. All right. Are you up for a challenge? Do you think everyone can do this challenge?
Are you asking for a challenge?
All right, here's another challenge. Oh, I'm in red now. That's okay. A equals B. What does the right-hand side of this look like? Oh, we could talk about De Morgan's, but we're not going to talk about De Morgan's now. De Morgan's is really fun though.
TFFT.
All right, I can't trick these people. TFFT. That is absolutely correct. Well done. All right. I think you've all deserved the ability to move on. So let's move on, shall we? Ugh, Karna maps. I definitely don't miss doing Karna maps, Wolf. All right. So now that we've kind of done all this Boolean logic crap, what can we do with it?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. So Retronox.
We just wasted your time.
We just wasted your time. Once it's
Just
over.
for ha-has.
So Retronox is absolutely correct. We can do if statements now. So if statements are the way, or one of the ways at least, computers can. Nice job, Nathaniel. So if statements are one of the ways computers can make decisions. So the way an if statement works is you say the word if, and then something that can either be true or false, and then some things to do if that is true. So for example, A equals 20. If A is so, what does this do? So we set A to 20. We know how this works, right? You should know how this works now. So if A is greater than 10, then we do this. So Python does this neat little thing where indents count. So
It took me some time to figure out how all that worked when I was messing with
So
this code.
indents count. So what happens here is, so what will this print? These indentations belong to this if statement. This does not, because it's not indented. So what does this whole thing print?
So I think if A is greater than 10, it'll print those two lines, and then it'll print the hello. And if it's not, it'll just print the hello. I think.
Okay, so let's see. So what does the colon do? The colon just tells Python, I'm beginning an indented block.
Yeah.
That's what the colon does. So let's see, we see lines 3, 4, and 6 will execute. Well, technically they all execute Fumanchu. Like this executes, that executes, this does, and that one. They all execute. So yeah,
Now,
people are
if,
saying. So
if
people
only
say
the-
prints everything, and it indeed does. So if I change A to be 5, what does this print?
If only Python also had semicolons, then the
Why? What is the point?
because then the dot would make a lot more sense.
No.
If A is 5, it'll just, yeah. Hello.
So what will this just print?
Nothing! No.
It'll print something.
Alright, so this will just print
but
the
this-
string hello. So what happens is, okay, so we set A to 5. We do this check. If A is greater than 10, which it's not, so we skip these, because remember, these indents kind of tell Python, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want you to do if A is greater than 10. Thank you, Billy. No, please don't get that song stuck in my head. Although every time I see that, I just want to go, is it me you're looking for? Anyway,
Hello.
so A is greater than 10. So what was I talking about? Right, so A equals 5. We do this logic check. If A is greater than 10, then we do these. And then we just move on. If it's not greater than 10, we just kind of skip this part. Does that make sense? I will nod your head. Just say like /me nods head if you understand what's going on here. If not, if you have any questions, of course, as always, feel free to. Oh God, no more Adele stuff. If you have any questions, of course, please let me know. What is that?
What was that?
I don't know. It was Wodar. All right. So let's do another little question. Let's do another question here. A equals 5, B equals 10. So what does this do? Alright, so a lot of people say prints hello, and they are indeed correct. So what if I did this? What does that do?
It probably does both of them. I haven't seen what you did yet, but
God damn it, Cletus. Cletus is good at, he's good at amplitude and reading my mind.
yep. I mean, if you're really smart, you would have just changed it so it still just printed hello to throw us off.
Yeah, right. So what does this print? Oh, whammer.
Hey.
Alright, so this this is a thing and hello. So here's what happens. So we set A to A, or A 10, B is 5. So if A is greater than B, so this is if 10 is greater than 5, then we print this is a thing, then we go back to the main program flow, and then we print hello. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What's up, Aaron Hance? How you doing? Should I make this harder? Because all of you folks are very, very smart. I think we should make this harder. Think we should make this
Yeah.
harder? We should make this harder. Alright.
Kick it up a notch.
No, we're not looking at Python bytecode. Jesus. So what does this print?
Ooh.
Oh, you didn't go over exclamation point.
Yeah, I did. I said not equals. Oh, I didn't? Oh. This means does not equal. Whoops.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So 10 equals 10. 10 does not equal 10 is false, right? Oh, I did go over bang? Alright, good. I thought I went over not equal. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Is Python equal with, or is Python okay with equals bang? Try. Oh, we're talking about Java? I don't know, Aaron Hans. I have written Java professionally for the last 7 years, and it's
It
been
is
okay.
not okay with that.
It's whatever. So yeah, of course, this prints this is a thing, so let's walk through this step by step. So A is 10, B is 5, so let's do this part. So A greater than B, of course 10 is greater than 5, that does work. And then let's see, and C is not equal to D, so C is 15, D is 20. Of course, 15 is not 20, so then we execute this, and then we print hello. Affix tier, Python does not have ternaries, at least not in the way you, oh, excuse me, you think they have them. Alright, so let's do this. What if I did this? What does this print? Yeah. I mean, Java 8, I'll talk about Java 8 afterwards if you ask me later.
Yep.
Alright, so of course, this does indeed print
Well, of course it's
hello.
not gonna print
It
Which
just
clearly...
seems like the chat is really friendly, and they're just like, "Hello."
I know, the chat is very, very friendly. So, we don't actually print this stuff because A is greater than B, right? 10 is greater than 5, so that part's true. C
And
equals
announcing
D.
Hummus isn't the best anyway, so why would it ever print that?
Whatever. So C equals D. So 15 equals 20 is false. So true and false is false, right? So we skip over this block and we just print hello. Does that make sense? So now clearly this has a bug in it, so we should fix that. What does this print?
It's a, yeah, call that a bug.
Stuff.
Yep.
This is good. I should make the correct answer have Lieutenant Hummus in it because then all the answers get like red highlighted for me. So this is very convenient. Alright, so let's see. Yes, indeed this prints everything. So this is a test. Lieutenant Hummus is the best, and hello. So let's do again. A greater than B, we know is true. C equals D is false, but this is an or. So true or false is true. Alright, everyone kind of understand this? Any questions about this?
Not sure about that one.
Alright, I will give a few minutes for people to catch their breath, ask questions. Thank you, Pablo Francog. I'm glad you are enjoying. Fu Manchu, yes, we will get to that. Not today, though. We're not going to get to that. I think Jim Bob, he means like this reference, like to the object itself. But we're not talking about objects yet. What is XOR in Python? I leave that as an exercise to the reader. Okay, so I'm assuming there's no questions, so we're going to move on. All right. Where was I going to move on to? I totally forgot what I was going to do. Oh, yes, I remember what I was going to do. All right, this is homework. This is exercise time.
Wells.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, okay.
So we are going to do... I want everyone to do an assignment for me. This should take you a couple minutes. So I want you to read, or let's see, ask the user for a number. If the number is bigger than 100, print number bigger than 100. Whoops. Move this over. Otherwise... Oh wait, never mind. No otherwise yet. And then... So let's go ahead and write this. So this isn't homework, this is just a little exercise. So go ahead and do this. If you post your your share link, I will... and you want me to tear apart your code, if you're brave, I will go over your code on stream. Read PEP 8. Well, we're not talking about PEP 8 yet. Man, now I have Adele stuck in my head. I'm so sad.
Wamp, wamp.
Wamp, wamp. So it goes. Alright, let's see. Nathanielus has some code. Let's see, Nathanielus. Alright, Alright, Nathanielus, we'll take a look at your code, but feel free to send some more, because, you know, comparing and contrasting. I can say that I tried. I tried. So hard. Gone so far.
But in the end,
in the end.
Doesn't matter.
All right, let's see, Miko's. All right, so I'll give everyone like another minute or two, and then Miko's, yours doesn't compile. You might want to fix that. Oh, Miko's did fix it. Nope, Miko's, yeah, yours doesn't compile. Let's see, Steph Avancity. Oh no, why can't I not connect to the server? Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Forgot to ask for user input as a hint. Get user input with raw input. All right, so Wolf Durgan. Okay, so these are good. We have three we can go over. Oh, god damn it, Wolf. All right, Wolf did some advanced stuff that we're not going to talk about right now. All right, so we have 2 we can talk about. All right, Miko Duckins fixed his code or her code. Okay, so let's see. This was Nathaniel's. So, nice job, Wolf. So let's see. So we asked for the raw input with this. Well, let's run it first, see if it works. So let's see if I type in 199, a number bigger than 100, and water rides suck. Well done. If I type in 100 exactly, we don't print that. And if I type in, whoops, negative 101, we don't print it. So let's see, what are we doing here? So we asked for the raw input with this kind of prompt, the little prompt string. Very nice touch, Nathanielus. So we get the input, we convert it to a number using float. I would generally ask for integer, but that's fine. Float will work just fine. We store it in a variable called number, and then we do if number greater than 100. Then we print this, and then Nathanielus decided to say that water rides suck in a opinion I can't help but agree with. So this is Steph Avancity, so you can see kind of the same thing.
Credit.
So Steph Avancity actually forgot to do the cast. So what is happening here is number is still a string, right? So let's see. Actually, I'm not going to do that right now. So one thing that you have to do is you have to remember to convert from the string you get from raw input to the to a number. So whether a float or int or whatever.
Here's me. Just
All right.
because. Why not?
Python, yes, Python is fine comparing floats to ints.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
why would you prefer integers to floats?
it's kind of a personal thing. Just ints are kind of like the, I don't know, standard data type that I've just been used to. Like you could do float. I mean, floats you lose some
I
precision,
just think,
but yeah, I mean it's fine either way.
I
So
just think if someone wants to, some jerk wants to enter decimal.
yeah, you might as well let. So let's look at Kleidos's program. Kleidos, this is a great example. So Kleidos has an example of the else, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. So we're going to print, or pick a number, 29. So 29 is not bigger than 100. So what happened here? How does this work? So we know what this line does. We get a number, convert it to a float, store it in n. So if n is greater than 100, we do this. This else line, though, this is curious. This else print n is not bigger than 100. What the hell does that mean? So what that means is the else says, if this wasn't true, if you didn't do this if, then do this part instead. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, whatever.
So we'll go back to here. So so a equals 20.
Could you write 2 if statements? One that is if print it's bigger, if n is less than 100, print it's smaller.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you
Else.
could just do a second if you really wanted to.
Okay. So, oh wow, Control S saves sessions. That's really cool. So what does this print?
Oh, Fearful Ferrets on GDQ again.
Hmm.
Ooh. That. Is that just AGD?
Nathanielus, no. Don't listen. That's bad advice. Nathanielus' advice is every if must have an else. That's not necessarily true. Don't do that. It just
Wait, what now?
you will, if you get into like programming, the more you yeah, I know. The more you kind of you program, the more you talk to people about programming, you will find people are very vehement about how they feel code should be styled and structured. A lot of those opinions are bad, and they lead to really silly things. Like, I mean, obviously you want some style, right? Like, especially in a large code base, like if you have everybody that disagrees on style, like it will just be a total mess. So you want to avoid that. But there are some things like, yeah, saying like every, if needs to have a corresponding else is just silly. All right, that is my opinion. That's true. Okay, so what does this print? I saw one person answer it. I'm fine with that, Wolf. I don't care.
Woo! Good job, Odar.
Alright, so this prints, of course, A is not 10. Because, so A equals 20, we do this logic check, this is false, so we skip over this, we hit the else, and then we do that. What if we did... We'll just give in to Adele. So what does this print? Alright, so we got some answers. Yes, so this prints A is not 10, and then hello from the other side. What does this print? So if I change A to 10, whoops, what does this print? Try Haskell. Oh, God. Haskell is... Yes, let's talk about monads some more. Ugh. So what does this print now, if I change A to 10? Yes, Haskell, I know. Haskell is functional programming taken to its super logic. Actually, I won't hear shit while everyone's figuring out what this prints. Where's my copy? Oh yeah, here it is. Nope, wrong book. Oh, here it is. Yeah, don't pretend I don't have this book. Alright, so let's see.
This the book you brought on vacation?
That's the book I brought on vacation. Oh, shit, I saved this into somebody else's project. God damn it, you're right. Ah, well, whoops. So yeah, this prints A is 10 and then hello from the other side. So let's walk through it. So A equals 10. If A is 10, then so this is true. So we execute this block. The else we skip over because this was true. And then we print hello from the other side. Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can stump people. Whoops.
Meanie.
I know. Let's do that. Okay, so what, let's change these because these are no longer accurate. So what does this print? Nice job, Duplicity. Nice job. Yeah, it's a good book, if not a little snarky at points, but it's a great introduction. 'Cause yeah, Haskell, man, Haskell. All right, so what does this print?
Haskell a hassle?
Haskell is a hassle, yes. Alright, so I see a lot of people, yeah, so yes, this indeed prints bar hello from the other side, because this statement is false, right? Because A in equals 10 is true, of course. B equals 20 is false, so this whole thing is false. So we go to the else and we execute the else. Alright. Cool. So we have one last thing to talk about in this, and that is combining. So there's another word called elif. So elif is basically else if. So let's do this. Let's see.
Ran out of ideas.
They ran out of ideas.
Like, let's just combine them.
Let's do this. A equals 15. Alright, so what does this print? Garthenville, how do I feel about Swift and the fact that Apple can't make up their mind on how it should be? I don't know. I mean, every language does that. Like, Rust goes through, like, how many changes did Rust go through before they really finalized on things? I can see people are starting to get tired of printing from the other side, or typing from the other side. Yeah, no, I got it, Mr. Swats. I got you. Alright, so I think everyone's kind of got this. So yeah, this indeed prints bar hello from the other side. So the way this works is, so a equals 15, so we do this check. If a equals 10, nope, that is false, so we skip over this. Else if a equals 15, yes, that is indeed true, so we print bar, and then we print hello from the other side.
Why would you use elif instead of just another if?
Because if you want to do it, like if you want to do like 3 choices, right? So like I want to do something if 10, I want to do something if 15, and then I want to do something like completely, different otherwise. Like you can do it without the else if, but then it just becomes way messier.
Okay.
Cool. So obviously if I did a equals 20, this is false, so we try this. This is false, so we do baz hello from the other side. And then of course if a equals 10, this does, of course, foo hello from the other side because a equals 10. So print foo, and then we're done. We skip over everything else and we go down to here. So alright, so this is another trick question. Alright, what does this print? Oh man, you're all too smart. Alright, so let's see. What does this print? If I hit run, because I see people are split between foo and foo bar. So if I run, it just prints foo. Because remember, once this else means once you've executed any if statement above it, we skip it, right?
Yeah.
So think about like kind of reading it out, right? So a equals 10. So if a equals 10, this is true. So we print foo. Think instead of else, think otherwise, right? Like remember, this is great. In Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, right? Let's talk about Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes real quick. This is perfect. Good job, everyone. Let's talk about Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes. Let me pull up the manual real quick for simple wires. Right? You've done this a million times if you've played this game. Whoop. So here's the on the subject of simple wires. Let's do 3 wires. So if there are no red wires, cut the second wire. Else if the last wire is white, cut the last wire. Else if there's more than one blue wire, cut the last blue wire. Else, cut the last wire, right? Kind of makes sense.
If you had white, 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 you're still going to cut that
You're just
second
still going
wire.
to cut that second wire, exactly. Yeah, I know. So, and this is like a perfect example of an and. If there are no yellow wires and the last digit is odd, cut the third wire. Else, if, and so on and so on and so on. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, man. Good job, Steel Crate Games. Thank you for providing excellent programming examples in real-world scenarios. A+. Where's Bitstim when I need him? Bitstim, where are you? Okay. So let's see. Let's do one last quiz. So A equals B equals 20. Equals 30. Let's see. Okay, so what does this print? Alright, I think people are getting it. Yes, I see 1, 2 answers. Yeah, I hope nobody actually makes a bomb based on that manual, because that means they'll ask me to diffuse it, and I don't want to do it. Alright, so yes, a lot of people saying bar, and there we go, bar, right? Because A equals 10 and B equals 30, this whole thing is false, because this part's true, this part's false, so this whole thing's false. B equals 20 or A equals 10, these actually happen to both be true, so this whole thing's true. We print bar, and we ignore everything else. Alright, any questions about if statements before we move on? How are we doing for time? 8:46, perfect.
Wodar.
Yeah, that's probably true. Clearly the better expert. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, any questions about this kind of if-else stuff before we move on? Alright, I'm seeing none, so let's move on. So we're going to talk about the last thing today is going to be while loops. So a while loop basically tells Python, while something is true, do a bunch of this crap. No, Wodar. So, the best way I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you an example. So, actually, first I'll show you the syntax. So, let's say A equals 10. While A is less than 20, 30. A equals, print A equals A plus 1. Okay, so what is this doing? This is saying, okay, A equals 10, we know what that line does. Now we have this kind of interesting line here. While A is less than 30, okay, so we check to see, yep, A is indeed less than 30, so we print A, and then we add 1 to A. So basically this says A equals A plus 1, essentially means A equals, A plus 1, which is what I just said. So this is 10 plus 1, 11. So A becomes 11. Then we go back to the top of this while loop, and we see, is A still less than 30? Yep, 11 is less than 30. So we go back in the loop again, print 11. A equals A plus 1. So now A is 12. We go back to the loop again. Yep, 12 is less than 30, so on, so on, so on. So let's see, A is 29, right? 29 is less than 30, so we print 29. A equals A plus 1, so now A is 30. Is A less than 30? No, A is no longer less than 30, so we exit out of the loop. So this will print the numbers between 10 and 29, followed by hello, which of course we can see it does. Let's see, Icy Cold has a question. How does the while loop know what's contained within the loop? Like, yeah, okay. No, it's okay, Icy Cold. So,
Python
sorry.
uses tabs.
Yeah, so Python uses white space. So this indented stuff, so if you were here, so this indent here means, part of the loop, which I guess is like, is the best way I can explain it, I suppose. Essentially everything inside, God, like think of an outline. I'm trying to think of like a real life example. So like think of an outline, right? You make an outline, all right? You say, you're taking notes in class, and you're like, okay, I don't know, roller coasters at Cedar Point. And then you have like a subsection, right? And you kind of indent it to make it look good, right? So you're like, okay, let's see, Raptor and Millennium Force. And I don't know, what's another, Mean Streak. And then we'll make another section like roller coasters at Magic Mountain. And I'll say like, Viper and I don't know, what's another roller coaster, Riddler's Revenge. and Tatsu. So, you know, when you look at this, right, you immediately think, okay, these kind of indented blocks, right, belong to this. These indented blocks belong to this. Like, obviously, this doesn't belong to that section. So think of it kind of like an outline. Whoop. Yeah, Crazy Parker 1099. This is a intro to programming stream. You can watch some of my other programming streams where I talk about less newbie stuff. But you know what? We all had to start somewhere. There was a point in my life where I did not know what a while loop is. So we all start somewhere. Please don't be mean to newbies. They are nice too. Batman the Ride, fine. Batman the Ride is also a roller coaster. The ride. Awesome, Icy Cold. Well, welcome. Okay, so does everyone understand kind of like the indentation and how this works? So what if I changed this from to that? What would this do? Let's make it a little faster. So what would that do? Or what does this print, actually? Alright, Crazy Parker. Is it Crazy Parker? You're Crazy Parker 1099. Welcome to the channel. Wodar, no, you have to use white space.
What have I done?
Alright, so this prints 10 and then 24 and then hello. So let's walk through this, right? So a equals 10. We know that. So while a is less than 30, so 10 is less than 30, so we go into the loop. We print a, which is 10. Right? Then we do a equals a plus 14. So 10 plus 14 is 24. Excuse me, so a becomes 24. We go back to the top. Well, a is less than 30, so a is now 24. 24 is less than 30, so we print 24. We do a equals a plus 14, so it's 24 plus 14. That's 38. So we go back to the top of the loop again. A is less than 30, so a is now 38. And of course, 38 is not less than 30, so we break out of the loop, and then we print hello. Yes, it is, Wodar. It is. Yeah, go figure out. Well done, Jimbo. Yeah, Wodar, go tell me what curly brackets do. Or, yeah, curly braces do. Okay, so does that make sense to anyone? Anyone have any questions about while loops?
I just made it start counting up forever. It didn't like me.
Can I zoom in a bit? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, while loops are dangerous.
Yeah, I just said while a is greater than -1, and then I had to add 1 each time.
Yeah, so if
it
you
started
did,
counting up forever.
so if I did something like while, yeah, well, we won't talk about that. Don't. So it is possible to have an infinite loop, like Cleto said. So if you structure this badly, you might actually get stuck inside this loop, and you'll never ever leave.
Yep, be careful about your greater than and less than signs, for example.
Yeah, Jim Bob, we will talk about. Optimization is the root of all evil, or premature optimization is the root of all evil. No, I'm not going to do while true. Boo. All right. So no questions about while. All right, if you're also experts, let's do this. Yeah. Okay, what does this print? I should do an HTML CSS tutorial. I am terrible at HTML and CSS. I am terrible. You do not want me doing HTML CSS. Believe me, I cannot make things look pretty at all. At all. All right, let's see. Who can tell me what this prints? All right. So yep, we print A is 10, B is 4, A is 18, B is 14. So let's walk through this. So while A is less than 30 and B is less than 15, so A less than 30, yep, 10 is less than 30, and B is less than 15, yep, 4 is less than 15. So we print them out. A is 10, B is 4, we know that. Then we add 8 to A, so A becomes 18, and then we add 10 to B, so B becomes 14. We go back to the top of the loop. And then A is less than 30 and B is less than 15, so A is now 14. Sorry, A is now 18. B is 14. So 18 is less than 30, of course. 14 less than 15. We go through the loop again. We print them out. We add 8 to A. We add 10 to B. We go to the top of the loop. So now A is what? A is 18 plus 8, which is 26. So 26 is less than 30. And B is less than 15. So 14 plus 10 is 24. So of course, 24 is not less than 15, so this is false, therefore this whole thing is false, and we break out of the loop. Alright,
Matrix.
let's do one more.
Oh, I broke it again. I entered that same thing, but I forgot to put in the formulas. So just print A equals 10 and B equals 4 forever.
B equals B.
Oh, Kaylee, that's terrible.
Alright, so what does this do? Have I heard of the handmade community? No, I have not, Aaron Hance. I have not.
Yeah. Kaylee just goes in. He's guilty. Okay, bye.
Oh no, Kaylee, I just read. Oh no. XCOM 2 and you have to go to trial?
Guess
What's
you
up,
need to go back to
Piz911? We are learning how to program. See, handmade dev.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow, this is a lot of words. Alright, I'm definitely going to read this.
I like Kledos' idea.
Yeah. That'll work.
What are we programming, Piz? We're learning about while loops right now in Python. So if you hit exclamation point REPL, I don't know what's over there, you can get to the little practice area that we have set up. I don't know who made this, but it's awesome. Let's see, about us. Who made this? Our mission is the democratization of programming, and this is our attempt at providing a powerful yet easy-to-use interactive programming environment. Well, A plus all these people. These are all awesome people for making this. Is fantastic. So let's print this.
Easy to use.
All right. So I think everyone's kind of understood this, right? So while A is less than 30, we print out A and B. We set A is now 15. B is now 7. If B is less than 18, we print the internet, which it is. 7 is less than 18. And then we go to the top, and we go through again. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know if there are any questions, because I think we're almost out of time.
The internet.
So actually, what if I change this to be 9? Right? We'll print it again. Notice the internet doesn't get printed anymore because B is... Oh, this is kind of interesting. How come... So, here's a good question. I'll run this code. B is equal to 7 here, but how come we don't print the internet, right? Because if B is less than 9, why is that happening?
Give the chat a chance to answer, Wodar.
Yes, Kaylee, but there's not. Why? Or Kaylee's just restating the question. Got it. All right, so everyone's smart here. Yes. So indeed the answer is in between the time that we print out b and we check to see if it's less than 9, we happen to add 3 to it. And of course, so 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 is no longer less than 9. So well done. I think that is it. So does anybody have any questions about while loops or if statements or Boolean logic or anything else like that?
What's our homework?
Magician.
All right, so why are you getting boring race conditions? Wait, who's bringing up race conditions? Is the tabulation important? Oh, yes, tabs. Yes, this is Python, so tab is very important. Like if you just do this, this will not work. Python will complain. It will say, hey, I expected an indented block, but I didn't find one. Mr. Swats, I will talk about for loops, which is probably going to be next class. I wanted to talk about them today, but unfortunately I ran out of time, which is actually why I talked about lists, and I bet if I didn't talk about lists, anyway. We'll talk about for loops next time, and we'll go over lists again. Cool. So does anyone have any more questions, or can I give out homework? Because apparently a lot of people sent me, yeah, I know. I agree. Alright. No, Piz, we're just learning how to write code. Alright, people want homework. Alright, so this is a classic programming problem. And in fact, here is, let me find it real quick. So I will show you a solution written in my new programming language, Kappalang. Let's see, where is it? So here it is in my programming language, Kappalang. And the programming problem is not FizzBuzz, it is 99 bottles. So, if you're unfamiliar, the song 99 bottles of... Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I can't go there, hold on. So the song 99 bottles of beer on the wall, which you can find information about here. I want you to write a program using loops that prints the lyrics to 99 bottles of beer on the wall. So you should start with 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall. And then you print 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 97 bottles of beer on the wall. And then all the way to the end, and then you have to have the last little passage at the end. Alright? So print the thank you, Tune. Print the lyrics of 99 bottles of beer. I don't know why I didn't show it here. So basically, let's see.
Whammer.
Let's see, edit configurations. We'll run the thing in Kappalang. So yeah, your output should look something like this. Not quite like this, but close, right? 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, blah, 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 blah. And then all the way down to 1 bottle of beer. And then once there are no bottles of beer, you print out this. Alright, so that is your homework assignment. What's up, Zalith? So that is your homework. Print 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Or print the lyrics to it. Let's see. So I think that is it for me if there are no more questions. And again, what's
questions, that? Just in case.
Yeah.
About a 20-second delay. So
okay.
I'm
yeah.
stalling. I'm stalling for time.
Oh, thank you. Is it possible to do this with recursion? I don't know, Mr. Swats. You tell me. You tell me if it's possible to do with recursion. It might be.
I know, Zaylith. That's so exciting.
All right. So let's see. What did we learn today? We learned a little bit about lists. We learned about Boolean logic. We learned about ands and ors. We learned about while loops, and we learned about if statements. So if you send me a link to, whoops, whoa, that did not do what I wanted. So send me a link to your code if you want me to take a look at it. Also, all right, that sounds great, Zaylith. I can't wait to see you too at South. Yeah, it's because you're not in the Omegathon, right? Isn't this so much more fun? All right. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so that's it for me. Any questions about anything about this before I sign off for the night? Because I will be doing...
Whammer, you finished. Good
yes,
job.
Whammer. All right, let's take a look at Whammer's code. I'm not going to show it on stream because I don't want to spoil it. Nice. All right, Whammer. So when you've done and you want to send it to me, you click this little share link, and you will get a link up here. Just send me a message on Twitch, and I'll take a look at it. So I want to see your implementation of 99 bottles. This is a classic programming problem. Classic programming problem. Other than that, I will be doing part 3 of this next week, same time. So what day is that? That will be the 12th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. No do while in Python. I don't know if we mentioned you. So a couple hints. If you get stuck, Google is your friend. Like if you need to look up for loops or while loops again, you can just Google like Python while loop, right?
Oh, Connor.
And you will find a ton of stuff. Oh God, Connor. Oh man. So if you get stuck, just take a look. Google will have tons of resources. So here's the Python wiki on while loops. So that will show you things. Google is your friend as a programmer. Literally, this is the secret they don't tell you in school, but Googling crap is like 99% of, my job. And my Google foo is pretty good. That's all I'm going to say. So if you get stuck, don't hesitate to search things out. Or search things if you need hints. Email me your code if you want me to check it out. Also, if you email me your code, let me know if it's cool to use your code in next stream, because I might go over some solutions again, some people's code. So let me know if it's cool to use your code, if you don't want me to use your code, or if you want me to use your code but don't say your name, I can do that too. So thank you all for... Is it bad to break in an if statement? It's not great, Erican 8898. What's my email? My email is a secret. So yeah, send me a Twitch email or a Twitch message with your thing. Let's see, anything else that I want to say? Toon, is there anything I wanted to say? Oh yeah, if you any questions or comments, also send me Twitch mail. I will try and answer those as well. Like if I went too fast, if I went too slow, or if you just are confused, let me know. Or if I'm an idiot, don't tell me. Just talk about me behind my back or whatever. Just kidding. If you think there's something I can do better, let me know. If you think I'm doing pretty well, let me know as well.
No, Wodar.
So that's, I think, all I have to say. I'll give you another minute for questions, and then I think I'm gonna sign off. I'm really bad at goodbyes, so that's why I tend to ramble. Yeah, go watch Crazy Kaylee. Kaylee, what are you streaming? Secret X. Oh dear. Oh, Secret XCOM stream. Alright. Kaylee is crazy good at XCOM, so yeah, there you go. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm eager to see your 99 bottles implementations. And I think that is it. Thank you all for watching. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter and whatever. The link's down in the summary down there. But he can't beat Impossible Iron Man. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, go watch Crazy Kaylee. Go watch him take out some aliens. I need to take a cough drop because I've been rambling for the last hour and 40 minutes. Oh, Wodar. And I think that's all I gotta say. So thank you all for watching. I will see you next week with part 3, where we will talk about more loops and maybe some other stuff. Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Mhm.